Before this video starts, I wanted to inform every single last viewer of this video that I have started a GoFundMe for the Inoue Fulton fight. I'm trying to go to Japan and raise some money and get you guys great content out there in Japan. And I'm going to try to be out there for at least a month. And I'm going to need you guys' help to get you guys that great content and make this thing happen. So if you're interested in helping me with that, the GoFundMe link will be down below in the description and in the pinned comments. So help me out and help me help you help True School Sports get to the land of the rising sun for Inoue Fulton. It is the road to Japan. So yeah, help me out with that and enjoy the video.
And I state that without arrogance. I don't mean to be arrogant, but I am a realist. And as a realist, it would be absolutely unprofessional for me to sit here and pretend I'm not an exceptional human being. Because I am.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I have somewhere I have to be, guys. So right now, I'm just gonna cram like 3 or 4 videos into one. So make sure you guys pay attention to the timestamps for what for the subjects you want to hear me talk about, and you'll find everything you want there. But it's like I'm talking about like 3 or 4 different topics in this particular video. So we'll start with we'll go over the lightweight division. You guys can save the date, April 8th. Your boy Keyshawn Davis will be back, as it looks like he's gonna be slated to fight on Shakur Stevenson's next undercard. Now Shakur Stevenson, April 8th at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. They're talking about him fighting Shuichiro Yoshino, you know, the Japanese fighter who's ranked in the WBC rankings. That's the fight he's gonna be having. Now on that undercard, Keyshawn Davis will be getting a step up, and it is against a name that people know. Whether you rate him highly or not, that's on you. But Keyshawn Davis's next fight will be none other than former Ryan Garcia victim Emmanuel Tagoe. Yes, that Emmanuel Tagoe. Accra, Ghana's very own Emmanuel Tagoe. Game Boy Emmanuel Tagoe. Now, I like Tagoe. Interviewed him before. Nice guy. No one nothing bad to say about him. But as far as a fighter, I think his performance against Ryan Garcia was very disappointing. He basically came to survive and didn't really try to win the fight at all. And it made for a really, really bad fight, to be honest with you. And Ryan Garcia looked not that great in that fight either. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to seeing how Keyshawn Davis can do, because if Tagoe decides to, you know, move around and whatnot like that, and kind of come to survive against a Keyshawn Davis, you know, then I'm not so sure. I want to see how Keyshawn responds to that type of an opponent, you know, because Tagoe's been professional for a very long time. He knows how to move. He knows how to survive. He's a very crafty guy in that square circle. So definitely be a very interesting state of affairs when those two square off. But yeah, that's what we got going on there. And on top of that, right, the opponent selection is a bit disappointing from Top Rank, because you know the fight that Keyshawn Davis came out and said that he really wanted, that he thought was realistic for this time, was a fight between him and you know, fellow African, you know, Jeremiah Nakathilia. You know, Jeremiah Nakathilia, you know, he pretty much said that that's the fight he wanted because in his last fight he beat the hell out of Miguel Berchelt. And we've seen Nakathilia, he had Shakur Stevenson on his bike because that boy can punch, and we saw him beat the crap out of Miguel Berchelt. So Nakathilia has earned a good fight. That would have been a really good fight. I feel like it would have been a more dangerous fight and a more intriguing fight for the fans. But for whatever the case may be, you know, it didn't happen. And that's just what it is. So yeah, man, you know, Keyshawn Davis didn't get the Nakathilia fight, but he's fighting Tagoe, who's a veteran. So we'll see how he looks come you know, April 8th on the Shakur Stevenson undercard. Now, y'all can also save the date for this, because this will be March 25th. March 25th, you know, they're really gonna try to stack that undercard for Canelo and Plant, or not Canelo and Plant, not Canelo Plant, Plant-Benavidez, I should say. Two really good fights that I wanted to highlight for you guys. Number one, you got our banger, just an absolute banger. 2 guys from the PBC that were once looked at to be the young faces of the company for their weight classes, both coming off losses. Now they're fighting each other in a sink or swim type fight. And that's going to be Jose Rayo Valenzuela, coming off of his knockout loss to Edwin De Los Santos. He's taking on primetime Chris Colbert himself. So I like this fight because both these men lost in embarrassing fashion in their last fights, and they both have a lot to prove. And the winner of this fight will get back in the mix. And it's going to be, you know, the high volume punching style of Rayo Valenzuela at that southpaw stance, the high power punching volume style of Rayo Valenzuela, going up against the slick style of Chris Colbert. Now, Chris Colbert has fought guys like Valenzuela before, or who have similar attributes, like Jaime Arboleda, who was a come forward high volume guy, and Jaime Arboleda absolutely just got iced by Chris Colbert. So we'll see. I think Rayo has more firepower than a guy like Arboleda, but it really does make for an entertaining fight. And I'm gonna assume that with both these guys being the talkers that they are, that this will also be a really good trash talking at the press conferences. So yeah, I'll definitely talk more about this in another video. But really good fight there. And then you got Jesus Ramos. Jesus Ramos get a step up, and he's fighting. It's a battle of two undefeated guys. We're gonna find out finally who's who, because he's gonna be taking on Joey Spencer. And Joey Spencer's one of these guys that's I've been hearing about him for years. Like, I'm talking about like 7 years, like before he was even a pro. His name was making a lot of noise in the USA amateur system. And then they made a big deal about him on PBC when he first turned pro, and he kind of just been slowly but surely and quietly building himself. He's 16-0 with 10 knockouts, but he hasn't really fought like anybody too great. Just a little gradual baby step ups. But now he's fighting Jesus Ramos, and Ramos is a damn good fighter. Ramos already has a win against Brian Mendoza, who just knocked out Jason Rosario. So Ramos can fight. Ramos is at a certain level, and with the way things are going, Ramos is on a trajectory where you feel like he's going to be a legitimate contender in the coming years at 154. So this really, to me, I don't really have many questions about Ramos going into this fight. I got more questions about Joey Spencer, and a guy like Ramos, who is an aggressive, come forward, southpaw fighter, but does also have some ring intelligence as well. He's the kind of guy that will answer a lot of questions about Joey Spencer, who sometimes, he's just there. He's just kind of an underwhelming fighter. So he's talented. He can obviously punch. He's a strong guy, but he's gonna need more than just strength and those kind of things to beat a guy like Jesus Ramos. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. No doubt about it. So we'll see how that one goes. But this is that Valenzuela Colbert on the Plant-Benavidez undercard. Ramos versus Spencer on the Plant-Benavidez undercard. This is a card that I feel like PBC is actually doing a great job on. They're doing what they can. So make sure you guys send a message to these companies that when they actually put a product with good fights in a main event that we want to see, that you actually support the event. Do that, please. And that would actually be better for the sport. So there's that. And then last but not least, and I'm gonna leave it at this. Callum Smith. Callum Smith, he's looked at to be the next guy in the WBC to fight Artur Beterbiev. The line of thought right now is that he's not going to be fighting, he being Beterbiev. Beterbiev's not going to fight Bivol next for Undisputed like we all want. So if he does fight Callum Smith feels very, very confident about, his chances. Smith's stronger at the weight. He's coming off of 2 sensational knockout victories over Lenin Castillo and Mateo Badalik. But obviously, by Beterbiev, not only is he a bigger puncher than those guys, but he's one of the best fighters. If not, you could argue, there's a legitimate argument to be had that Beterbiev is the best fighter in the world. No doubt about it. So Callum Smith's gonna have a big challenge on his hands, but he pretty much feels like, he said in the article, I'm not gonna read it to you, the whole thing to you guys, but basically he said that he's in his peak years now, and he feels like his time to beat Artur Beterbiev is right now at this juncture in time. So I think it'd be interesting. He's a taller fighter, very strong, and he's a more experienced fighter than a guy like Anthony Yarde. So I'm very intrigued to see that fight if it does happen. But obviously, you guys know, to hell with that fight. Just give me the Beterbiev fight, and I'll call it a day on that one, right? And then and also in relation to Beterbiev, right? Beterbiev and Smith, right? If he is to fight Smith, Carl Moretti of Top Rank, holds a very prominent position in Top Rank. I believe he's the president of Top Rank. Carl Moretti came out in a Boxy article, and he stated pretty much that if Beterbiev is to fight Callum Smith next, that they would like to stage the fight in Montreal, in Canada, for like a hometown defense for Beterbiev, because Montreal is like his, outside of Russia, that's where he's trained. He's a Canadian citizen. He's Canadian pretty much at this point. So You know, for me personally, look, I've always wanted to go to Canada. Hopefully they can stage it sometime after Inoue Fulton, because that's priority number one. We you know, donate to that GoFundMe support, but we're trying to get to Inoue versus Fulton. So yeah, man, that's just what it's got to be. That's what it's got to be all the time, and I hope that we get these fights sooner rather than later. And if he's got to do the mandatory, just get it out the way. Beat up on Callum Smith, you know. And I'm not saying that it's like Callum Smith may the best man win, but like I want undisputed. I want undisputed, and I feel like everyone should want undisputed who's a boxing fan. So that's what it is there. Then the last thing, and I'll end the video because this is a long video. Sergey Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev is a he was being linked heavily to fight Chris Smith. Chris Smith stated that he wanted the fight with Sergey Kovalev, you know, at cruiserweight. And now Kovalev is now going to be fighting, supposedly, because now the WBC has ordered a cruiserweight, not final eliminator, no, a semi-final eliminator bout. So this is like the eliminator before the eliminator. And I know it's crazy following all this boxing politics and semantics, but Kovalev will be fighting. He's been ordered to fight none other than the uncrowned champion himself, Thabiso Mchunu. Now, I thought Mchunu beat Makabu for the title last year, and I really do think he should be WBC champion right now. But that's just not how boxing is. Sometimes you don't get the luck of the draw, the pick of the litter, or any of that kind of stuff. So they have till February 24th to read the terms. It's gonna be an interesting fight if they do fight, because Mchunu is a guy that really, for all intents and purposes, is very slick, very hard to hit. Kovalev still has a very great jab that can carry him through a lot of rounds, but at this age, you question his stamina. You question, like, you know, how much does he have left in the tank, and how is he gonna deal with an elusive fighter like Mchunu? So yeah, man, that's the boxing news right there, all in one video, all you know, less than 12 minutes for you guys. I gotta go. I'm actually going to the right now. NHL All-Star game is here, so I'm actually going to the NHL skills competition tonight, and then I'm going to the NHL All-Star game tomorrow. So had a friend who got tickets, so I gotta get in the Uber and jet on down there. But you guys, let me know what you think down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take your eyes. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.